Lupin, 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 Lupin the Vlog, Part 1. The Man They Called a Magician is episode 2 of the first series, and this is the introduction of the character Paikal, which is also his last introduction into the major series as a whole, including parts 2 and 3 and 4. Paikal does appear again in another movie called The Return of the Magician, but we might get into that a little bit later. For an introductory episode, this is a really great one in the green suit era, Lupin III. The episode starts off with two gunmen entering into a room and shooting at Paikal with machine guns. They leave after thinking that he's dead, only for him to rise up. The night previous, Lupin and Jigen discover Fujiko in a burning forest and take her home with her. She hasn't been acting too well recently. This is also the episode where we find out that Lupin has a fear of octopi, or other cephalopod-type creatures. Though, not too sure if this is ever brought up again, but still it's a nice little fun fact. Paikal enters into the room and says, "Hey, I want that woman." And Lupin's like, "Nah, man, you can't have my woman." And both he and Jigen shoot at him, but their bullets doing absolutely nothing. Paikal retaliates by firebending at their faces. It's like nothing is stopping this guy. They use guns, they use magnums, they use machine guns, they use anti-tank rifles at this guy. They use a bazooka that is supposed to punch a hole through sheets upon sheets of steel, and still this guy keeps coming. I don't care what kind of trick this guy is pulling, the amount of internal damage that this guy suffered must have been intense. You do not just walk away from getting a bazooka to your face, is all I'm saying. 70 meters away, boom, right in the face. But nothing's stopping Paikal. He steals Fujiko, takes her back to his log cabin in the woods, and asks her, "Where is the film?" She's like, "I don't know." And so the torturing scene happens. I've noticed for the first couple of episodes that Fujiko spends most of it being tortured in some shape or form. Whether it be the tickle monster or being suspended above a waterfall. Sadly, no Zenny got it for this episode, but this episode does confirm that Lupin is not invincible. There are some foes that he faced that are gonna outwit him at first, that he has to double back and try to think of a revenge plan against them. And that's what makes Lupin such a fun character, is that he's not the epitome of manhood. He's not always gonna get the girl, he's not always gonna get the gold, he's not always gonna take out the man, you know? He's a man of the world, just trying to live in it as he does, and how he wants. So Fujiko actually left 3 films on Lupin's dashboard of his car. Looking at the films, it doesn't look like they really say much, it's just a bunch of gobbledygook. Then Paikal comes in again and starts firing at them left and right, and they can't do nothing about it. And he even shows off that he can also fly, or at least float in midair. It's like, what's going on here? In a run with Fujiko, Lupin bumps his head onto the ground and actually comes to a eureka or a aha moment when he realizes what the 3 films mean. It turns out that the 3 films, while not making sense by themselves, if you put them together, it spells out a formula for a particular chemical, aka a type of skin material that when coated onto any surface makes it incredibly bulletproof and heat resistant. And is total bullshit, and not actually in real life. But still, we'll make believe for now. That guy got a bazooka to his face! You don't walk away from that! There's even a moment where somehow Paikal gets on a plane and then flies in low and lands on top of Lupin's car and shoots him in the back of the head. Now, of course, at this point, the audience doesn't really know about what this formula is, but they kind of figure if Lupin's figured it out, he's probably doing whatever this magician's trick is. There's really weird scenes in the first part of Lupin. Like in one part where it looks like Lupin is actually dead, and he hallucinates Fujiko as a mermaid, and then Jigen as an octopus. I will say about these first couple of episodes of Lupin, there's a lot of choppiness about it. There are some scenes that kind of like, you gotta kind of fill in the blank yourselves, like, okay, he got out of that situation, even though we don't really see that he got out of that situation. Like, he got out of that sunken car somehow, but we just didn't see. God damn it. There, you stay. That he got out of that car, but we just don't know how, but we can assume, you know? There's a lot of assumptions in the first part of Lupin the Third. So the final confrontation between Lupin and Paikal. Lupin is wearing the special skin, and unfortunately Paikal's special resistant skin is starting to wear off, and he burns to death plummeting down the waterfall. Now, of course, this leads a lot to sequel bait, and they do come back to this in The Magician Returns. But we'll talk about that on another date. Overall, this is a really fun episode. Much better than the first episode. The first episode was good in kind of giving us a little bit of a taste of the characters, but this one really dives right into it, gives us a really nice opponent for Lupin and the gang to fight off, as well as giving a little nice insight into Fujiko and Lupin's interesting relationship, let's say. Kind of, hey, I love you, but I'm not afraid to stab you in the back whenever and however it pleases me. As long as it benefits me, hey, we can be friends with benefits. Ladies. Overall, another great episode. If you want to check out more of these Lupin the Vlogs, check me out on YouTube and Dailymotion, where I post up new videos every Monday. Also, I'm a part of the Quitimation podcast, which we have episodes on our live stream that I'll also post in the link below every other Monday, so check those out as well. And this is the MangaMan, signing off, Lupin fans.